Yo, Kosho, you still there?
Yes, I'm here listening.
Oh wait, I think I have my volume down.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, I'm down, so yeah, I had to go reset it.
You're
Somehow
down? What do you mean?
No, it just I think the server crashed, so I had to reset it.
I feel you.
Check. Yeah, I think it's the audio's working on the stream. Check. Yeah. All right. I think I got it all back up now. Dude, those maps we were looking at were very interesting, man. I'm still thinking about that last one we read, dude. What was that guy involved in? Like, that was wild, dude, because that really, I mean, what do you think of that? Like, I mean, it gave this aura of, this is 1921. Did it give a location on that one, or where did it say it was published from?
1 second. I had a conversation with the other
London.
with the AI regarding the other article, and I was asking it about more about information about that stuff, about that guy and the community. It's pretty interesting, actually. And I was trying to see if it had any relationship with Robotham. It did not. Hold on 1 second.
For wait, which one?
The one about the article. But hold on, give me a second. I don't know. There's noise. I can check it out. Hold on. Sorry, Joe. Give me a second.
Yeah, man, all good. I'm gonna see if I can find another one of those.
Check. Anybody on? Check.
Yo, yeah, I'm here. I was posting a couple of interesting maps I was finding. Stationary planar.
Who's talking?
That's Geo.
Yo, yeah, Kosho's back. Looks like.
Yeah, kind of.
Hey, what's up?
Kosho, look at these two more I just found, dude. This one, new correct map of the flat surface, stationary Earth, Boston, Massachusetts, 1920, November 1st, 1920. Check that one out. It's not even
the same time.
Yeah. You said about the same time, yeah, 1920.
Time as the other one, and also same area.
Yeah. Why are we finding all these
You're posting maps? Did you say? Oh wow, I see it now.
I mean, Kosho, why in 1920 are they posting new standard map of the stationary planar Earth? Isn't that interesting?
Well, a lot of people had just been traveling the world around that time.
Check that other one out too. It actually has some writing up in the corners. It's kind of funny because the one of them lets you zoom in, but it doesn't let you download it. Anyways, I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh, I wish I could zoom that big one you've got. That top one. That's awesome.
Apologize, but you gotta give me a minute also. I'm looking and listening, but just
yeah, that's kind of a ridiculously long link, but that last one does let you zoom in. That says a World War II flat Earth map, polar azimuthal equidistant projection, 1943. World War
on
II.
eBay too.
Yeah, you can buy it for $12. Look at all those paths it has on it, dude. It's got all these flight paths. Look at that.
Is that the eBay link?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Cool.
Look, see, I just gave the same link, just without all the extra shit.
Cool.
Yeah, that's better.
$12, huh? Oh, you can zoom it over the top. That's awesome. Okay, global war strategy map. Interesting. Yeah. Do you remember the story of Amelia Earhart?
Yeah. Kosho, can you figure out a way though to get that to where I can really zoom in so we can read it? Because the one on eBay, you can kind of do a little hover zoom, but it's actually not really big enough to read. I guess I could probably do another type of magnification on my screen or whatever. And then when you click to enlarge, it's actually not very large because I saved that one. I already posted it and it's not very high definition. So I don't know if you can, what to do about that.
On the corners.
So I want to be able to read that. But yeah, Amelia Earhart. Yeah, that's an interesting story.
Yeah, so I think she took the wrong flight path. So I think she was flying from Japan over Midway. Is that correct?
She probably found some other land and they were like, oh, we'll have to.
Yeah, so I think that because she had a round Earth map, she went south and landed crashed in the Pacific when she should have been going east. So yeah, I think she fucked up. But I see these flight routes over the Southern Pacific. So New Zealand and these little islands they're hopping across. That's fascinating, yeah. So I can sort of see why the Globers get sucked into the model. Because you could easily just overlay this and make it look round.
Ooh, I found some other ones. Some good stuff out here. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many of these. I mean, for this claim that, oh, humans have known the Earth is a globe for XX amount of time, well, why are they publishing brand new flat stationary Earth maps in the 1920s?
Mm.
They're selling them, publishing them.
$19.10, that bottom map division.
I'm on fire. Check this one out. Finding all
Boston,
kinds of
Massachusetts.
That one's kind of just Gleason's. It's just kind of spruced up a little.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that one. Looks cool.
Yeah, I like the green on that.
I'm saving that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Ooh, here's another one.
Wait, are you just on Google or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just linking all through around. Yeah, I did. I did start on Google. Yep, and then just started linking me through to all kinds of other stuff. I basically, but I was typing in these like more rare kind of maps. You know, I was typing in these search terms for. So it's just linking me to a bunch of other sites that have, you know, related. Yeah, look at this one. Wow.
Remember that show Little
Planisphere.
House on the Prairie?
Yeah. I do.
They did a flat Earth, round Earth episode back in the 1960s, I think, or it was early 70s. And they had a new school teacher come to the district, and she was pushing Globe Earth. And they threatened her to kick her out of the town if she kept teaching Globe Earth. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
I think I saw it on BitChute, so Little House.
That last map I just posted was made by this guy, Philippe Bauche, 1700 to 1773, late 18th century French cartographer, geographer, and map publisher who created a physiographic system and contributed to the theory of physical geography.
There you go. And also there was an episode of Little House when they spoke about using quinine for influenza.
Huh.
Yep, because it's a parasite. I mean, yeah, it's a parasite, so you need to use quinine. Fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that they had an episode on flat Earth type thing. Yeah, it kind of rings a bell in my mind in some way. I don't know if I've seen it or I saw a clip from it where is that the one where there's a woman who is like teaching the kids the globe, and basically like this guy comes up to her and he's like, "This is heresy! Like, don't teach these kids these lies and deception." Like, I think it might be from that.
Yeah, it is. That's the one. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
because they said there was nothing in the Bible that talks about a round Earth.
Yeah.
That was the episode. It was barely in color, right? It was only just when color TV came in.
I'm not really sure, but I'm just scrolling through the links now, see if I can find the episode. It's on BitChute somewhere.
Yeah,
it probably is on YouTube too, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't work that well.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, it was like I actually like agreed with parts of what the guy said, you know, because he was like, this globe is nonsense. Like, yeah, I remember that. It was funny because it's like Little House on the Prairie, so obviously it's like globe stuff, you know what I mean? That's like Globers that are making it, but they're kind of trying to like recreate this thing. But the thing is that people were called here, you know, we're like pushing this globe thing and people were rejecting it. Like, what are you guys talking about? So it actually does like tap into like potentially at least somewhat of a real history.
Holy shit! Someone's just gone through and posted dozens of episodes of Little House. Plague. They had a plague episode. Oh my god.
Little
I
pre-programmed.
think they were trying to, they're mocking flat earthers. They're trying to sort of like say that they're in in the dark ages. They haven't evolved. That they're still sort of stuck in their paradigm, and they're like Quakers or something like that.
Mm.
They're mocking flat earthers. They're trying to put them down.
Yeah. No, I know, but in a funny way though, the guy does drop some decent lines in there. But yeah, I know what you mean. It is kind of it's pre-programming.
But it was a great series, probably one of the greatest series ever produced. And it wasn't inflicted heavily with that evil Hollywood and agenda yet. It just seemed to be a bit more innocent. It probably was. We just didn't see it.
Oh, here's another one. Look at this one. Hammond's Air Age Map of the World, a polar projection. Found another winner.
Mm-hmm. Homesteading.
Here's another from 1901. David Wardlaw Scott. Map of the world as a plane. Seemed like they were busy making all kinds of flat Earth maps in the 1920s.
Yeah, it's interesting how well they suppressed it. But you got to remember, the 1920s was a period of great reset because you could get any type of money, any type of loan back in the 1920s, right? That's why they called it the Roaring Twenties, right? It was the era of prohibition and all that. So eventually, the system was crashed by Wall Street, and that was what caused the Great Reset, the stock market Wall Street crash.
Right. You talking what, like 1920, Great Depression, or are you talking about before?
Yeah. So before that, it was an era of great development and advancement, especially in the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone had money or a job, and wages were extremely high. Even shit jobs, everyone was tipping everyone, and eventually they, Wall Street just brought it all down, called the Great Depression and the reset.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why the government keeps talking about Agenda 2030, right? That was supposed to be their new reset date, 100 years from the Wall Street crash. And that's why we had the COVID stuff. It was 100 years roughly since the Spanish flu outbreak. So they're just repeating basically what happened in the 20th century. So we had our little wars, our little Middle Eastern wars, which mimicked World War One. But I don't think. Well, Biden wanted war with Russia. Obama and Biden always wanted to go with war with Russia. So he's got his war, but I don't really see how it fits into the reset narrative. So people saying, "Oh no, Russia's just retaliating because they don't want to be part of the new Western culture," right? So I don't know. I don't know what the whole Ukraine Russia thing's about. So there's going to be like a type of crash sooner or later. So whether that's got to do with the digital currency and the forcing of electric cars, which will mean no cars for anybody, and the spy cameras and lockdown cams and all this other stuff. So it's all there. Like this is going to happen. We don't know when.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
they're definitely doing. Yeah, I could agree with you. That seems like they're gonna have probably
the only
one or more financial resets are in the hopper.
Yeah, the only country that bounced or was heavily afflicted by the initial stock market crash, but once Hitler took power in 1933, they bounced out of the Great Depression within months because he just kicked all the bankers out. So yeah,
Didn't they just do like slave labor though?
the Germans.
Yeah,
Well,
like
he just created enormous public service. So he got everyone motivated and get everyone active again because it was a terrible state. Germany was in a terrible state, right? So he just said, "Well, we'll just get everyone working." So they created industries and jobs and created the military and set all the men out in the fields and all the women pretty much stayed home and had babies and stuff. So
I thought it was because like almost as soon as he gained power, he started this slave labor workforce, with all those prisoners of war.
So, Kosha, what do you think about this timeline we're laying out here? It's like in the 1920s, there's all these flat Earth maps being produced. There's like schools that are teaching flat Earth, etc. And there obviously is already there's a whole sort of discussion. That thing we just read that had like the guy was talking about the British Empire, that was basically the globalists that were kind of pushing the globe thing, and then all of these other kind of war torn situations that were going on. And then they do the Great Depression. Yeah, the whole crash.
America was
hold on, just
insulated.
real quick, just right out of that into World War II, and then right out of World War II, NASA and the whole deal. I mean, that's intense. That timeline.
Yeah,
they were literally talking about flat Earth and publishing maps and selling maps, all of that in multiple, and then all of World War II happened.
Yeah, but during the 1920s, America was, they called it the Roaring 20s, right? Because America was totally insulated to all what was going on.
It
was,
Big
it was
boom.
probably one of the greatest period of America's history. But it all came to an end.
50s. But both
So
were
they isolated
10 years
people
after
from. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just saying in the 20s. Yeah. Because that was after World War II. So it's like they already had isolated people away from the idea of an immovable, planar, stationary type Earth. And that whole, so some of these articles we're seeing are, they're kind of resisting it, and it's like it's peeking through basically. Like they couldn't completely squash the truth. So there are some places that are publishing maps and saying, no, the globe's a lie and all that. And then like. Because you were it just reminded me of the way you said insulated. Like it already was insulated to where it was just those couple maps or articles or these schools, that were, and then the Great Depression and World War II. It's like seems like they stamped it out.
I just come up with a great idea. 1920s public school geography books. Let's pull it, huh?
Yeah, it'd be interesting because I'm sure they're going to talk about the globe. Imagine that'd be great to see if you can find that. Yeah, see if you can find some globe textbooks from the 20s. See what they were telling these people.
But typically, geography though doesn't really reference like the shape though. I mean, I guess in some aspect it does.
Mm-hmm.
Very few aspects, but
Coach, so look at all these additional maps I found, dude. Scroll up, look at that one. This guy Philippe Bauche, he lived from 1700 to 1773. Late 18th century French cartographer, geographer, and map publisher who created a physiographic system and contributed to the theory of physical geography. So he was a cartographer, geographer. I mean, you got this whole debate, the shape of the Earth. Look at that dude. You really think that dude was just completely wrong? I mean, he's like a map maker.
for plain truth.
Like this guy knew what the Earth was. He had to. He made a map of it, and it's like a Gleason's type layout. Look at his above that picture of him is the one. Look at that. Oh yeah, sorry. What did you say?
Plain truth or a plain truth. You know who I'm talking? Who that is?
Well, there's two of those. There's the plain truth and a plain truth.
You know, plain truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was looking for the picture you asked me to look for, and it took me to because the biggest one is a pretty big version of it on that site at least. But he's got a whole page. I'll link you the page. The whole page is of flat Earth maps through the histories, basically.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've seen compilations like that. But yeah, if you could send that, because I'm kind of into this right now.
Only problem is that most of the pictures on his freaking site are not there, but he's got the title for them, so I ended up just searching for the title if it's not on there. I don't know if he took them down or what happened, but they're not, maybe oh, you know what? Maybe his server that was hosting it or whatever, those pictures doesn't exist anymore because most of those pictures don't show up. But like I said, the title's there.
Yeah, see what you can find.
And as far as online, like that picture, there's a large one supposedly on his site. I don't see it. It's like 5,000 pixels by 3,000. But
oh yeah, I've seen the site.
Big too.
Oh yeah, they're not loading. Damn. Yeah, see if you can find these. Oh yeah, a bunch of good ones here. 1696. Oh yeah, no, this. I think I might even have a whole map collection. Let me see what I have. But yeah, dude, that history, that's unbelievable. I mean, come on, Coach, you got to admit, there's something seriously fishy about that.
I guess. I mean, if I was going to draw the Earth, a map of it, it's very hard to draw a three-dimensional shape map, so it makes sense.
I mean, you think that all these advanced cartographers were just mapping a planar Earth, and even though it's not a plane?
That's what I'm saying.
If it was a globe, if it was a globe, they wouldn't even been making these maps.
Well, imagine you're one of them and you actually believe it's a globe, but you're still desired to draw a picture of it, of a map of it, basically. I mean, they're sort of required to, regardless if they believe it or not, to make it in a flat way. So, but I don't know. I know obviously Gleason and several other ones. The guy Middleton or whatever his name was. They obviously did believe it. So yeah, I didn't know for the longest time that Gleason was a flat earther. So it's interesting that like his map is still kind of. I guess I don't know if it's known outside this community so much, like reference outside this community, but still, it's like it's a map that's at least somewhat official, still used to this day, made by a flat earther.
Yeah, man, he knew what was up. You can't ever. What are the, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah. This is what I meant by that guy, the guy who made the other map. That he sounds just like a flat earther, man, because of he's like if everyone had listened to me, dude, I was obviously right about this thing, and we'd be the rulers of the world. Okay.
You'd be the king of flat Earth.
Yeah.
That's what that guy's trying. That's what. No, well, kind of. Well, it was a little bit of that rhetoric, but I know. Like now, like Eric Dubé wants to be the king of flat Earth or whatever.
Yeah, who's that guy? Southern Israelite. He says he is king. He's king of the South.
Oh my.
Yeah.
No, but I think the reason that the you're right though, the rhetoric that's in that we were reading, I hear what you're saying with that, and it is funny knowing all of these conversations we've had for years and this whole. But what's kind of amazing about it is that we are just picking up where they left off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I even agree with that guy. I'm not even saying that guy's like completely on his rocker or anything. Like, could be a little off his rocker or too much into wars or whatever he's into. But nonetheless, like he did seem to be just calling out like the globe is false. It's erroneous.
Yeah, and it's obviously like there's people in the past that have ideas that I currently share, and whatever. That doesn't mean every idea they had I share, because obviously something being 400 years ago, time is going to clear up a lot of the misconceptions that that people have, or the way people think about things and stuff like that. So it goes without saying that obviously there's certain ideas. I mean, the flat Earth idea has evolved, so. Yeah, I wonder what Robotham and this guy and flat earthers of yesterday would think of, like people like Witsit or the community in its modern times. I know what they would think of Jeremy, dude. They're rolling around in their graves right now.
Well, I think they're like with us in spirit. Like they're actually part of the lineage that we're also part of. No, dude, they would be rooting us on, man. I mean, I guess you're like in the globe thing. And I'm not trying to like call you out or anything, but I mean, it really is like it's what?
I was just busting Jeremy's balls, but yeah. But
well, they're busting our balls with this ball.
Yeah, well,
what's with the ball busting?
Exactly. Well, you ask QE, right? Is that the name of their show? Just copying off the Effie Cores or what's his name? The late great Bob Nodell show, Glowbusters.
Dude, I just found another one. A map of the world showing it to be a plane. Very Gleason's-esque. But look at how small Australia is. Check that out. That's tiny.
Yeah.
That's like a third of the size it is on Gleason's. And look at how far New Zealand is. Wow, that is out there.
Yeah.
That's Australia. No, but Australia is actual size in that one. Looks like.
Yeah, I think the problem was they didn't have a concept of the size of the Pacific back then.
I mean,
southern regions. Yeah, well, that would make sense because if it's a much longer distance, it's much harder to measure.
Mm. Showing to be a plane. Interesting.
Shooing. Shooing it.
What year was
Showing
this?
or showing?
Well, they spell showing with an E. It kind of seems like shooing
Oh,
it.
showing it to be a plane. How interesting.
Well, no, that wasn't that a like I said, an AE thing.
It's interesting they put
Oh,
the
no, it is
equator in
E.
there.
Yeah, it
Seems
says
weird.
it says equator and sun's course on the equator.
Yeah, this too.
I
Yeah.
don't mean to, give you guys a hard time or anything, but it does seem like a lot of these flat earthers are kind of illiterate. Can't spell very well.
Oh well, I think it's awesome.
Nah, no, I'm just messing around. Who knows? That's probably how
I
they
don't
spelled
think
it
you're
back then.
interpreting that correctly, dude. I don't think that's not a spelling error. That's how they talk back then, dude. They had different, there were different what are they called? Dialects?
I mean, I'm sure this is. I don't know what year is this though, because
I also don't know what let's see. Shoeing. Yeah, so I just looked it up, dictionary.com. Shoe is an archaic spelling of show. So yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, right on dictionary.com, yeah.
Wow.
Whatever.
Well, there you
The
go.
flat,
This is
the
very
flat earther
interesting.
probably put that in the dictionary. People didn't call them out.
Shoon. Yeah, I never quite knew that. I don't know what year this one is. Let me see if there's any. Oh, here it is. Let's see. I'm afraid it doesn't really say a year.
Wait, is it like a past tense form of show? Is that what it's supposed to be?
It said it's an archaic spelling of show.
Uh,
Like they just used to spell show like that.
Well, it's got the city names Auckland, Wellington, and Otago on there, and those weren't formed until like no earlier than 18. Let's say the 1850s. It can't be any earlier than that.
1800s. Hey, well, you would know when is Australia and New Zealand? When was it colonized?
1790, I think.
Well, there was a treaty in 1841 with the indigenous people. So they came here much earlier, like 30 years before that. So you're looking around about the 1820s.
Okay, I'm just wondering because obviously there's going to be whether or not he knew of Australia. There's obviously going to be a lack of knowledge of like the size and distance to New Zealand and that kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, this is sort of on topic. The Maoris, they used to navigate by vision. So they'd look across the ocean from a high point and look at the lands. And then they'd get their canoes and travel island to island.
I
Yeah,
thought it was.
they understood
that
the way
proves
that this worked, right? And they judged the winds, and they had a direct heading. That's how they did it. They didn't have compasses. They just went by direct heading and the movement of the stars.
I thought
but
didn't they use like
also
a
knew
coconut?
that. Yeah, you could see they're on the flat Earth. You can see islands. So.
I heard something different. They use a coconut sextant.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So Kosho,
Really? I'm not surprised.
Kosho, you know how in a lot of these discussions we're talking about the AE map and people debating, the sun and the sunsets and all this different stuff. You know how extensively we've it's been discussed and so on. What is your honest thought in the fact that there are looks like from multiple sources and multiple places around the world, let's just say at least in the 20s and of course before as well, with this Gleason's type layout, meaning because you kind of asserted it's just so wrong and the sun can't set and all this different stuff. But what is your honest take on the fact that there's multiple sources from different parts of the world that are using this layout and claiming it as what the Earth is, as an immovable plane? with that same layout? Like in your mind, if you think this is false, is like this is like a misinformation, and they're all just copying each other, and somehow they're just all misinformed? Or what are your thoughts on that? There's something deeper to the fact that they all have this this layout.
There's two things. One is so there's two things. There's obviously people who believe in a flat Earth who express this, and there's obviously people, like I said, this is still a factual depiction of an azimuthal equidistant map. So there's people who express that as well, and then there's also the assumption. So it's like, let's say people don't know anything about the globe or whatever, and they're just trying to depict the Earth. It's a fair assumption that it's like that. So I don't think it's a deception or anything. I just think that it's a mixture of those two things. Like people who know it's a globe and are using this as a projection, and then people who honestly believe this to be what the Earth's layout is. I don't
All right, dude. I just found another. Okay, I just found this whole descriptive key that is another little thing on this map. Check this one out. This is one of those ones I posted earlier. Kind of looks like a dartboard almost. Oh yeah, that screenshot that's just of the descriptive key part, but it's of
That looks like from Hogwarts.
Let me post the map first as well.
Is that a teacher at Hogwarts? That's what it looks like.
All right, this is the actual map though. But check this out. This is what it says. This is okay. This is the true map of the flat stationary Earth by a Syrian-American professor, John G. Abizade. I have published this map to reveal the true posture of the Earth. First, to help the people in recognition of the fact that the Earth is flat and does not move. Second, so that the young people in schools and in higher positions may have the benefit of the truth. There are many proofs that the subject is true, as you will be sure to find in my book, The Enlightenment of the World. The theory of a round and floating Earth is false, and you should not believe in it, as long as you yourself can see and feel that the Earth is a plane object and is standing still, and you will see that the sun, moon, and stars are daily in motion. They arrive every day from the east to the west. The sun's light progresses from the south, advancing to the north, and returns in 1 year. On account of the moving of the sun from the north and the south, and return, we get the 4 seasons, namely spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The surface of the Earth is divided into 5 zones. First, the north center, which is in dark for 6 months and is lighted for 6 months. Second, in the future, there will be some explorer who will cross it. Sometime in the future, there will be some explorer who will cross it. Second, the north temperate zone is the most desirable to live in. The most industrious and the most powerful nations inhabit this zone. Third, the torrid zone, tropics, is hot daily as the sun is over it always. The sun's body does not move out of this zone to a very great extent. Fourth, the south temperate zone has about the same climate as the north temperate zone. Fifth, the south circle is dark and icy like the north center, but no one can ever cross this circle as it is the edge of the Earth and is dangerous to life. The south circle is the largest of the 5 zones. Also, the nights are longer when the sun is moving near the south circle. But when the sun moves near the north center, the night is about 8 hours in the north temperate zone, and the north center is lighted for 6 months. This is a proof that the north is not like the south in shape, neither the south like the north. I'll just one last paragraph.
Same thing.
What?
I don't know. That point was just redundant. It's the same thing. If
Yeah.
one's not like the other thing, then of course the other thing's not like the first thing you said.
Yeah. Dilate.
No, he said that the nights are longer in the south.
Yeah, that's true, I think.
This is that last sentence. This is a proof that the north is not like the south in shape, neither the south like the north.
Yeah.
That is funny wording, but yeah. All right, last paragraph. If the Earth was round, as some people imagine, the shape of the North Pole and the South Pole would be exactly the same. Then the North Pole and also the South Pole would have 6 months of darkness and 6 months of light. Also, the sun takes more time to move around from east to west near the South Circle. So he's saying the sun takes more time to travel round from east to west near the South Circle. Take a journey around the South Circle and another around the North Center, and you will find it much shorter distance around the North Center, which proves that the North and South are not the same shape as people claim. After you have studied the truth of my work, you will know I am right. If anyone desires more explanation, I will be pleased to give it. John G. Abizade, 3 Malden Street, Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are from Boston, Massachusetts, dude. Have you noticed that? This is a third person.
Boston.
Boston.
Well, yeah, that's where people kind of settled first, right? Or at least close to first.
I mean, this is way after people settling, though. I mean,
this says November
they had
1st.
a lot of the intellectual class up there, a lot of doctors and universities in Boston.
What's that language at the bottom there? Can you read that, Kosho?
So what?
Yeah, what is
What's that
language?
In the middle? Okay, hold on. Oh, that looks like Arabic, but I gotta pull it up.
It does look like, yeah. Wait, did I send you the link that you can zoom in on it and everything?
To read it, I'm not gonna be able to decipher it. No, I just pulled it up though. But yeah, that is Arabic. I could read it to you, but I'm not gonna know what it's gonna mean.
You are on this. You are on this one, right? The one that the link I just sent, where you can fully zoom in.
Yeah, and the guy looks like he's a teacher at Hogwarts.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, dude. He looks straight out of Hogwarts. Oh, dude. So what do you, dude? I mean, I just read all that, dude. That is on point. What he just said, bro. This is like, dude.
Asshole, what's with all the Arabic?
You gotta admit that is impressive. That he's just laying it down right there, dude. He's talking about everything we've been talking about for the last 7-8 years.
Oh, I think this guy is an Arab. I think that's why he's got.
No, I'm not saying that this should like change your whole cosmology. Just the fact that these maps and these dudes exist. Like, I wouldn't expect you to be like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're right." Like, I wouldn't expect that, and I'm not even telling you to do that. However, this is incredibly. I mean, I knew these existed, so it's not like this all. But some of these I didn't read these before. This is the first time I've ever read these. Some of the what's on these maps. Maybe I'll even do like it'd be cool to do like a presentation on this, or I would definitely want to look over these even more, maybe even read them again at some point on the stream, because yeah, these are epic, dude. Absolutely. This one says November 1st, 1920, so it's around that same time. That one's obviously much, that's like better written. Like it is better English there. That's why I was able to read it more easily, because it was actually written fairly well.
I'll see if I can translate some of that Arabic, but at any rate, I'll gotta be right back.
Oh yeah, see, tell Jet, get your AI on it to translate all that. Yeah. Well, do you think it's the same as what's on the left?
It could be very, very, very much could be, but I'm not 100%. But like I said, I'll let me return. I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, dude, you're good. Wow. That is epic. I mean, these are some good bars that he dropped here.
Yeah.
The theory of the round and floating earth is false, and you should not believe in it. As long as you yourself can see and feel that the earth is a plane object and is standing still, and you will see that the sun, moon, and stars are in daily motion. They arrive every day from the east to the west. The sun's light progresses from the south, advancing to the north, and returns in 1 year. On account of it moving from the south to the north and return, we get the 4 seasons. It's exactly what we've been saying. And then he talks about all these different zones, like kind of dividing like the north area, basically where we live, like he's calling the north temperate, and then the equatorial zone, and then the south.
Yeah, because there's absolutely no way in hell that 93 million miles away is going to affect the seasons on that little pinprick of a dot that the sun's light is reaching. It's like you're just not going to get seasons at that distance and that scale.
Exactly. Yeah, if you have like a ball, like a little marble or something that's like near a fire or near a heat source, whatever distance you have it, yeah, you can make it to where it's, let's say, 70 degrees on that ball, but you're not going to be able to get it to be 70, or even like the temperature swings we get on the Earth, let's say upwards of 100, 110 degrees, or even hotter in some areas. And then simultaneously on the Earth, it's also negative 20 degrees somewhere, and with 3 feet of snow. I mean, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't even fit with physics. Yeah.
It's just going to be so uniform temperature. There's no way you're going to have those subtle differences. Absolutely no way at that distance. Even subtle differences, even like 1 degree's difference from like the extremities, that's not going to be possible, let alone the temperature differences that we do experience,
Exactly. And then he even pointed out he had some good little arguments in here. I mean, he had the North and the South and how they're different with the plant life and then the distances as well. He's claiming here that if you travel in the North versus the South is much longer in distance. I mean, he laid it out here. There's a couple like actual assertions, and it's like a whole model here.
Well, if he's writing in Arabic, he's probably also Muslim, and I think that most of the Muslims, they know that the world is not moving, and they know that it's flat and stationary. They just don't go talking about it because they know it. It's not something they need to be involved in, because whatever notions and propaganda coming from the West, it's just all it's all negative, as far as they're concerned.
Yep. I'm wondering if that's like classic Arabic on there, but it might be this other language, which is like the older version, classical. Syriac. Is that how that's pronounced? The Syriac language? Syrian, Syriac, I would assume is how that's maybe pronounced roughly, Syriac language. I wonder if it's written in that.
Like Farsi.
Yeah, it's like basically like the original kind of Aramaic and Aramaic. Also known as Syriac Aramaic and classical Syriac. Classical Syriac is an Aramaic dialect that emerged during the 1st century AD from the local Aramaic dialect that was spoken in the ancient region of Osiron, centered in the city of Edessa.
So North Africa somewhere, where it used to be lush and green with flowing rivers, and now it's all dried up and arid because of weather manipulation.
Well, I think it's the Great Flood that did that.